Welcome back to the Luana English Podcast. I'm Luana.
And I'm Josimar. It is great to be here with you all today.
Today, we are tackling a topic that is incredibly close to my heart, lifelong learning. Specifically, why your education shouldn't just stop the moment you turn 22 or finish university. Josimar, let me ask you straight out. Do you think the traditional idea of schooling is a bit outdated?
Oh, absolutely, Luana. I think the old model was you grow up, you go to school, maybe you go to university, you graduate around age 22, and then boom, you are done. You just work the same type of job for 40 years. But the world changes way too fast for that now. If you don't keep up, you get left behind.
Exactly. I love the phrase lifelong learning because it turns education into a journey, not a destination. It's the idea that we should voluntarily and actively seek out knowledge throughout our entire lives, whether for personal growth or career advancement.
Right. And it doesn't mean you have to enroll in a massive 4-year degree program every decade. It could be something as simple as listening to an educational podcast, hey, like this one, reading nonfiction, taking an online course, or picking up a new hobby like photography or coding.
Yes. And a lot of people make excuses. They say, Luana, I'm too old to learn a new language, or Josimar, I don't have the time to learn how to edit videos. But science actually shows our brains are remarkably adaptive. It's called neuroplasticity. Our brains can form new connections at any age.
That is a great point. It really is a use it or lose it situation. If you challenge your brain, it stays sharp. Plus, from a career perspective, things change overnight. Think about how much technology has shifted in just the last few years. Jobs exist today we couldn't even imagine 10 years ago. If you stop learning at 22, your skills will become obsolete by the time you're 30.
Obsolete, that is a powerful word. It means no longer useful because something newer and better exists. And honestly, learning keeps life exciting. It prevents you from getting stuck in a rut.
It really does. It boosts your confidence, too. Every time you master a new skill, you prove to yourself that you are capable of growth.
Let's transition into our deep dive, where we look at some of the language we just used. Josimar, I noticed we used a couple of great structures there. First, I used the phrase close to my heart. Can you break that down for our B1 and B2 listeners?
I'd love to. When something is close to your heart, it means it is very important to you or you care about it deeply on a personal level. For example, you might say, animal welfare is a cause that is very close to my heart.
Perfect. And then you mentioned getting left behind if we don't keep up. That's a classic phrasal verb.
Yes, to get left behind means to fail to maintain the same pace or progress as others. In a fast-moving world, if a company or a person doesn't adopt new tools, they get left behind by their competitors.
Another phrase I used was stuck in a rut. I feel like this is a great idiom for intermediate learners because it perfectly describes a common human experience.
Definitely. To be stuck in a rut means to be trapped in a boring, repetitive routine that is hard to change. You feel like your life or your career isn't moving forward. Doing the same thing every day without any new challenges is the quickest way to end up stuck in a rut. Lifelong learning is the perfect antidote to that.
Now, let's wrap up with our vocabulary summary. We've selected 5 excellent words and idioms from our conversation today to help you expand your vocabulary.
Let's count them down. 1. Lifelong learning. Noun phrase. The ongoing, voluntary, and self-motivated pursuit of knowledge for either personal or professional reasons. For example, continuous training and lifelong learning are essential for success in the modern job market. 2. Outdated. Adjective. Old-fashioned, no longer useful, or not relevant to modern times. For example, the company's computer system is completely outdated and needs to be replaced immediately. 3. Neuroplasticity. Noun. The ability of the brain to form and reorganize synaptic connections, especially in response to learning or experience. For example, because of neuroplasticity, adults can learn to play a musical instrument even late in life. 4. Obsolete. Adjective. No longer produced or used, out of date. For example, typewriters became completely obsolete once personal computers became affordable. 5. Stuck in a rut. Idiom. living or working in a situation that never changes and has become boring. For example, she felt like she was stuck in a rut at her office job, so she decided to apply for a position abroad.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Remember, your education doesn't end when a school gives you a piece of paper. Keep asking questions, keep reading, and keep pushing your boundaries.
Here is your call to action for today. Pick just one of the 5 vocabulary words we covered, write your own example sentence in the comments or in your study journal, and try to use it in a conversation this week.
Until next time, keep learning.
Bye-bye.